Hello everyone, and welcome back to From Our Basement Gaming.
Hi everybody.
We are back with part 2 of our Final Fantasy Let's Play.
That we are. As we left off last time,
sorry again, we're doing some issues yet again. It seems like, I don't know why. I have to look into it. Sometimes the equipment is just funky, you know?
yes.
I'll try my best to edit it out if there's too much going on, but it looks like it's calmed down a little bit. I don't know. If it doesn't, it's probably reason good. So yeah, this is pretty exciting. It's our second part. This is the first RPG we're playing on here, so it definitely won't be the last, but excuse me.
Definitely.
I completely and utterly don't know what anime this is from. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But I saw this clip on YouTube where they said, you know how on the map you have to like zoom out of the world and the buildings and stuff look smaller than your character just because that's how they did the map so you can find stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like their joke was, yeah, you're in a RPG, but that's the actual size of your character. Which I thought was hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, since it's anime, they had this, you know, cute female warrior, and she was bigger than all the houses and stuff.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. So, yeah, I just thought of that looking at the map.
I love it.
Yeah. And this, I'm guessing that this menu type is kind of similar to 6, Final Fantasy 6, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah, and the reason I thought that was because RPG Maker's menus look like almost exactly like this.
Yeah.
Sadly, I do not own RPG Maker, but back in the day, I used to play fan games that were made on RPG Maker. You know, way back before they attempted to make a Sonic RPG on the DS, I played a game somebody made on RPG Maker that was a Sonic the Hedgehog RPG. It was great.
Nice.
Let me know in the comments if you played that classic. I actually want to see if it's still available because it was good. It was really good. Good music. I have a feeling that they actually got somebody to make the music instead of just using the RPG Maker music. But that's just a theory. I don't actually know because I don't know the people who made it. So I might have to do more research. And I played a few others, but I don't remember specifically what they were at the moment.
It's a good theory, though, because there were a lot of people there were a lot of really brilliant ideas on games like RPG Maker, and that's awesome that someone did it with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, because, you know, like 20 years ago or so, people were really wanting a Sonic the Hedgehog RPG. It's like, you know, kind of like with the classic Genesis sprites.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I want that too. It's a shame that the one we got was kind of lackluster. I liked the idea, but it was a little clunky, and the music was horrible. And the story was also kind of bad. I mean, when Ken Penders thinks you're ripping him off, it's probably a bad story. And no offense to Archie comic fans, but based on videos I've watched analyzing the types of stories he contributed to, yeah, I'm not a big fan. But then again, I'm super unpopular opinion. I don't even like some of the stuff the other writers, including one who is now working with Sega on game stories. I was not always a big fan of the stuff he penned either, so... In fact, when I heard that somebody who worked on the Archie comics was going to be working with Sega to fix Sonic's lore, I actually was very worried instead of excited like the rest of the fandom.
I do not blame you.
Everybody was like, yay, and I was like, no. And sure enough, they came up with some nuclear energy theory about the Chaos Emeralds, and I'm like, this was what I was worried about. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I've watched enough videos covering the stories that they wrote in the Archie comics. Yeah, Sega's lore is a bit messy for Sonic, but hiring somebody who used to work on the Archie comics is not a good way to, in my humble opinion. At least it wasn't Ken Penders. If they had hired Ken Penders, I would have been done with the franchise completely, probably. Where at least with the person they did hire, there's still a chance that there can be some good stuff coming out of it. I haven't played Sonic Frontiers yet, though, so the jury's still out. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those things where I'll like some of it and I'll hate other parts of it. Much like the actual Archie comics, where some of the ideas I was like, oh yeah, but a lot of them I was like, no, this is too Mary Sue Marty stuff.
Well, thank you for letting me know that his name was Marty. Stu.
That's what they call the male equivalent of a Mary Sue.
Right.
But anyway, I know, sorry.
That's quite alright. I'm just saving.
I'm wearing a Sonic shirt, so I can't point it.
That's alright.
But,
we love Sonic.
yes. And I guess I don't have, like, a lot to say about Final Fantasy because I have some history with it, but it's not a big part of my childhood or teenagehood.
True. Have I told the story about when I first played the NES version of this game?
I don't think so.
I remember one of my neighbors, when they learned that I had a regular Nintendo, brought the game over. I tried it, but I was really, really bad at this game.
Yeah. I'm one of the 98% of Americans who 7 was the first one I was aware of.
Yeah.
But I am not one of the 98% of Americans who were like in love with it when it came out.
Right. The first one always stuck with me. Because I was like, man, if I only... After I was doing better with games like Mario RPG and Thunder Thread, I was like, man, if I had a better mindset when I approached the game, maybe I would have gotten a lot more out of it.
Here's your chance.
Exactly.
And it's my chance too to experience it because unfortunately I'll try to discuss this in the more the more not upsetting people right away version, I guess I could say.
Crazy voice.
But for me, Final Fantasy VII was so overhyped that it did hurt my enjoyment of it, because when something typed up that much and everybody's like, oh, it's the best thing ever, you know, it's the best RPG ever, and when they, you know, this was when it first came out, people were, you know, around me seemed to be acting that way. So when you hear that, you kind of have very high expectations, right? You're like, well... And my thing was always doubt at first. But, I gave it... So I really didn't give it a fair try until a few years later, like when the hype settled down a little bit. And, it just didn't do too much for me. I felt it overwhelming. This is fine. You know, not bad, but not nearly as great as everybody else thought it was. And I think it was just, I don't know, just a difference of opinion, I guess.
That's fair.
And I was kind of, Gigius. No. Wrong franchise.
Yeah.
It's spelled different, so it's oh, it's been a while since we've used his name. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of the short version of my opinion. When I saw the cutscenes for Final Fantasy VIII, I found those a lot more impressive than the cutscenes for 7. And I think that's kind of just where I was and what kind of influence I had. Although, I think even now I still prefer the aesthetic of 8.
True. I mean, 8 is a very beautiful game. Aesthetically.
And I feel like the sprites are a little bit closer to the cutscenes, whereas, like, and this is, you know, no offense to 7, it's because graphically what they could do at the time, but it was too jarring, how good they looked in the cutscenes versus how the sprites looked. I almost would have preferred them not to do the cutscenes, because they just look too different from the sprites.
Right.
So it's clear to me that the cutscenes were made later than the actual sprites, and I know there's this big history it was going to be on the Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
Then it was going to be on the N64 disc system, and that fell apart. So I know all the reasons, but it's very clear to me, looking at the cutscenes, that they were made later, and it's just too darn, they're just too different, they're not close enough, if that makes sense.
I understand. And it dawned on me as I was doing our first play that I probably should get some potions.
Yeah. But anyway, that's kind of where I stand.
Fair way to place this down.
I don't have much history with these early Final Fantasy games because they came out when I was a kid, and well, or yeah, I think this came out literally when I was too young to play games, but
well,
this one specifically.
Right. Right. If we're talking, ooh, nice. I leveled up. Nice.
Probably at this time, the most I would be playing was like Mickey Mouse video game on the MS-DOS.
Wow.
Well, maybe a year later, but yeah.
You got to play an MS-DOS when you were very little.
Yes. True story, I learned how to type before I knew how to write. That's why I am much more efficient at typing than and it wasn't like complicated. To me at the time it wasn't complicated. It was just like you have to type in C: these two dash things, run game, or something like that.
Right.
So it was relatively easy to learn. I don't remember any of it because I've been spoiled for information.
Yeah, the times changed too much, and they kind of forced you to unlearn.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that.
Now coders still know that stuff. Yeah. If you're not a coder, very easy to forget that. But yeah. Anyway, so as a kid, I did not like RPG because they seemed too complicated. They seemed too brain, like big brain, smarty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It required strategy and stuff. That just didn't make much sense to me. But when I played Super Mario RPG, which I was probably 6 or 7 when I played it, that was kind of like a gateway RPG, I like to call it, because it's an RPG. Don't get me wrong, but it is easier for beginners.
Yes.
In terms of you're not boggled down by a bunch of text about this is how you do this and that, and here are all the different strategy points, and you have to keep this in mind and that in mind. Stuff that, as a kid, I was like, what? So it wasn't really until I played Super Mario RPG that I appreciated RPGs. And it took me a few more years, for me to get older before I could start playing other RPGs and enjoying them for what they were. So, yeah, that's kind of my history. Because me right now, I love RPGs. And I, really started to get into them when I was probably, I guess, like, actual RPGs in the traditional sense. I would say probably pre-teen to teenager. Because, I know people call Pokemon an RPG, but it's kind of its special genre, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which I think most Pokemon fans would agree with that statement. I don't think it's a controversial statement. It's not your fantasy RPG where, but it has RPG elements, certainly. So yeah, I was playing Pokemon as a kid, but outside of Pokemon, I wasn't playing RPGs for the most part. Yeah. So therefore, that's why I don't have much history with the early Final Fantasy games.
Sure.
And a lot of it will be me experiencing it for the first time.
Yeah.
with you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I didn't play these games when I was a kid too, and I didn't have that much family that played RPGs.
Right.
I can sum it up like this. Like the closest RPG I knew I had family had. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
They kind of mostly played the little side adventure game as opposed to actually playing the RPG part.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I think it was called Little Ninja Brothers.
And like, my stepdad had an RPG he played a lot when I was growing up, and for me at the time it was very boring because it was almost entirely text-based. I mean, like, kind of, you would walk through the dungeons kind of, it almost looked like Doom in that way in terms of just, it was first person and you're walking through the dungeon. Like, imagine Doom but a RPG.
Yes.
Kind of like that, but when you actually did the fighting, it would just have like a static image of the villain, or, you know, of the enemy, and the rest was all text. Even like, you know, you choose to attack, and it tells you, so and so this amount of damage, all text, like walls and walls of text.
Yeah.
And so I found it very boring at the young age I was.
I fully understand why you think that.
So that didn't exactly help. But Super Mario RPG showed me that RPGs could be fun and approachable. Thank you, Super Mario RPG, for that.
Yeah.
I was unfortunately not lucky enough to know Chrono Trigger when it first came out. Discovered that later in life. And it's one of my favorite games.
Indeed.
But yeah, at 5 years old, I probably wouldn't have understood it. Or why it was good.
Those bugs. He paralyzed my bandit. So, what's it gonna have to use? Heavy duty magic.
Yeah, it's like poison or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure it says paralyzed.
Oh, paralyzed. We both got paralyzed.
Sorry for the slow starts to this adventure.
Yeah. It's okay.
I need to get out of here.
Like, oh, we're in the temple, but oh no, we gotta leave.
Yeah. Oh, they're undone. The paralyzation is undone. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's not like Pokemon where it's permanent. You know, permanent until you go to the Pokemon Center or use it.
Right. I hate getting paralyzed in Pokemon.
Oh my god, it's the worst. And then you paralyze your opponent, but it doesn't hurt. It's not fair. Paralyze my Pokemon, it happens right away. But then you have to paralyze the opponent and it never hurts. Or it takes a while to set in. Let us know in the comments also if you want to see us play Pokemon one day. I know some of you would want that. Curious to see how many would use it. Unfortunately, we'll have to use your code.
Right. Investigate.
Because I think all of mine are... probably won't see them, especially since they're worth a fortune, so maybe I do
I'm trying not to attack this controller.
Yeah. Yes, I don't want to make you so angry with my controller.
Right.
But yes, I know. Because you know, back before they took advantage of our nostalgia, it would just be like, oh, it's no big deal, I'll just go to GameStop and spend like $20 and replace all 4 of them. 3 of them, not 4. I don't know where I thought of the 4th one, but...
Well, in Japan there was a 4th one.
Yeah, that must have been what I was thinking. Not for us.
Right. Let's see if I can tackle this. At last. In exchange for the princess's life, all of Cornelia and its riches will be mine. Blast it! Pawns of the king! No one can stop me now! Very well. I shall take on all of you!
Oh crap.
Yes. I hope I didn't come in here armed with a butter knife.
Yeah. I hope this isn't us in over our heads, but I guess we will find out.
Right. Attack.
If we did come into
fire.
Early, we're gonna hear a lot of comments about, oh, those moves.
Yeah.
But who knows, man?
True.
If we find out we're too underpowered, we can grind some offspring.
Yes.
Like outside of this temple. I'm just calling it a temple, I don't really know it. Oh no, we did it. He was actually not that bad. Yeah.
The guild.
Thank you for saving my life. I am Sarah, Princess of Cornelia. Please, come to the castle with me. My father will be most grateful for your valor.
Yay, we did it.
Alright.
First boss.
My daughter is safe. I am forever in your debt. Lucan's prophecy has proven true. You must be the light warriors of whom he spoke. So I ask you to do what only the light warriors can. Rekindle the light of the crystals. Only then will the monsters infesting the world be banished and peace finally restored. To aid you in your journey, I will build a bridge to the north. I'm afraid that is all I can do for you.
Okay, so we are definitely going to save.
Yes.
And then we will end here for now. Once the story allows us to. Excuse me. Oh, that's right.
Excuse me, this zip has been passed down to the princesses of Cornelia for generations. Garland took it when he abducted me. Had you not come, he would have surely have put it to some terrible use. Please accept it as my gift to you. It may prove useful.
I think it is, but Alright, we got the loot. Not the treasure, but the musical instrument.
The instrument, yes.
Okay, so we rescued the princess and defeated the bad guy.
Garland.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to the inn.
Yes.
Ooh, look.
There's the bridge.
Bridge. Okay, men, we have to rebuild.
Okay. I know you said more than that, but that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, this is more than we got on the NES game, I think.
Probably.
Looks cool.
Yeah. Sir, it is completed, sir.
The bridge is now finished. I can't remember the rest of my dialogue.
The bridge is now vanished. Where did it go? Whoa! No, we just built it too.
Oh, that would be a terrible quest.
Alright.
Okay, let's...
So now we are going to save.
Let's save this game.
And then we will see you next time.
That we will.
Bye, everyone.
Yep. Alright, so just to check, we've got that much amount of money, and we are going to save this game.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yep, 30 gold. Let's stay. Yeah, we're going to stay and save this game. Alright.
Alright, that was fun. See you next time.
Take care, everyone.